Welcome everyone. My name is Tharmila Rajasingam, and this channel we talk about everything real estate marketing. And today I have Jacob Sharman with me, and we're going to be diving deep into real estate websites and secrets and everything you need to know to make sure that you have the right tools to help you succeed in your real estate business. And if this was your first time coming to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you have any questions at all, leave it in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. And I love to have a conversation with you guys. And if you're looking to join our group, if you want to partner with me or Jacob, and you want to see what it's like to join our group and to see what we can do to help you grow your business, make sure you go to that description, click on that link, and just look at the really the tip of the iceberg of everything you get when you join our group. And happy to sit down with you and chat with you, no obligation whatsoever. And it's always good to know your options. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And thank you, Jacob, for joining me and to help me answer some questions when it comes to real estate websites. And the reason why I brought Jacob is he's a master at SEO, website creation. He's made hundreds of websites. He actually created my own website. Head to Rajasingam.ca right there on the banner, and you'll get to see the amazing websites and the strategies that he brought to life. And he's amazing at it, and he knows the ins and outs of creating real estate websites. And that's why I brought you here, and I want you to answer some questions so that you can help people, because I think a lot of people in the space are spending a lot of money and time and having websites they think are real websites for their business, but they are not really helping them grow their database. It's not really helping them grow in terms of income, but also in terms of their brand. So a couple of things I wanted to ask you first, Jacob, is when it comes to websites, before we dive into real estate website and what makes a real estate website so unique and what's the difference, can you talk to us about what a website is? Because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding, especially with a lot of these overnight success marketing gurus that are talking about sales funnels and landing pages, and I'm hearing a lot of terminologies that are being used very not correctly, especially for us who come from a very traditional marketing space, going to school for marketing. It could be, especially for realtors who learned marketing overnight and are teaching to people because it worked for them. I wanted to really come and bring this to the forefront and dive into some of the basics. So what is a website?
So basically, a website is a series of pages that are connected to a domain name. It's that simple. So when you go to jacobsharman.com, you're going to see my homepage, about page, my realtor page, my marketing services, all that stuff. So though that is a website, is just a series of pages connected to a domain name. The problem is now you hear people talk about, oh, don't use a website, use a funnel, or don't use a website, use a landing page. Those are still websites. They are pages connected to a domain name that people can go and see, get content, and they have a series of functions. The difference is a website is all of those things. It's the kind of overarching hierarchy of getting online and looking at sites. The thing is, a funnel or a landing page basically has one intent, versus a website is kind of the summary of your entire real estate business. But when you come to a funnel is a series of web pages or a series of steps to take them through a process, like a sales funnel. So they come in as a traffic, you get the information, and then you start converting them into a client. Or a landing page just has one main purpose, one conversion goal, which would be download my home buyer's guide. So you capture their email address, their name, and then you send them the link to download the buyer's guide. That's the only thing that landing page does on your website. So that's the difference.
Beautiful. And I want people to understand this on an overarching level, because I think the next question is going to help people understand why real estate and why you need to have a website that is real estate based and it's not just any website, and why there's a big difference between you going and getting a random template and just putting in all your information and customizing it. What's the difference between that and having an IDX integrated website? So can you dive into what makes a real estate website so unique for this industry compared to just having any generic website for your brand?
One, you want to make sure you have a website. A website for a real estate agent is probably the most important compared to most industries, because a real estate website is the perfect place to give real estate education, give real estate tips, and also to show them homes. Why would you want them to go to your competition's website or some website like Zillow or Realtor.com to look for homes? They need to be coming to your website, so they're getting all of that education, whether it's through blogs or videos or anything like that. It's a perfect place to host all of that. And your website is great because it can, have an IDX feed. So an IDX is basically an internet data exchange. It's basically a software that connects to the MLS to bring listings to your website. And you need a real estate website that looks like a real estate website that has the functionalities, because if you just go grab a basic template, more than likely the people coming to your website are not going to get what they need. And guess what? They're not going to be able to find that information. And you literally have under 2 minutes for them to grab their attention. Really, it's like under 30 seconds. But they're going to spend about 1 to 2 minutes on your site browsing. If they cannot find that information, they're going to go back to Google and go to the next search result and go to your competition's website. So you don't want to just go grab any generic website. And sometimes even setting it up on yourself is not great because you don't know the functionalities that a website needs. So there's a lot to that, but you want to make sure that your website, when I go to it, I know I'm on a realtor's website. Like, you don't want to use a website that was built for a restaurant. There's a disconnect. And if you want to keep that consistent branding and you want to be able to have really high quality lead conversion, then you need to have a website that gives your audience exactly what they need.
Absolutely. And every industry brand is built off of emotions. It needs to, it really implies something. And that's why, when you ever got a logo or branding, packages made for marketing companies, they ask you a lot of questions about what are some of the feelings that your brand should evoke, what is the type of services that you provide, what are the type of results, how would people feel working with you. And it's because it's way beyond the look and feel of what you put together, and that needs to be embodied and be applied. That look and feel needs to be applied to your website. It's kind of like wrapping up all of your pieces, and it's supposed to live beyond just this immersive experience you're kind of having at one point in time. It has to live beyond that. And when people leave your website, you want them to, anytime they think about real estate, you want them to come to you because they felt, they built that trust with you. They really liked you and they felt like you gave them the right information. They feel like they're in the right place. They can go to you for whatever. And that's the type of brand that you want to build. And what does that look like? And that's what people like us do, that we ask you a lot of questions to unpack the type of services so you provide, so that we're able to give and make sure that we connect that gap between you and your clients. And that's what the website does. It's just a medium to reach your clients. And you need to have the right tools that this industry and people are looking for. And how could you sell properties if they can't even search properties on your website? And how could you work with somebody if you don't know who's looking at your website and who's on your website? So speaking of that, why do you think that every real estate agent, brokerage, anyone who's in this industry, why do you think they need a website?
So that's kind of a twofold question. So because most brokerages give you some type of website. So, at our brokerage, we get kvCORE with an IDX website. Now, for most people, that's a great website, depending on what your goal is in the real estate industry. Some people are part-time. Some people, this is all they do, and they're top producers, and they need, their own website. But most people will get an IDX website that'll have that feed. Everybody should have one, because you won't be able to basically show people properties. So what are you going to send them to Zillow and then they see another agent's name? It doesn't make sense. Every agent should have their own website, in my opinion, just because you never know. People, let's be honest, most real estate agents, we know 87% are going to fail in the first 5 years. But the problem is agents will go from brokerage to brokerage. And when you do that, you can't take your website with you unless you designed it on your own and incorporated their things inside your website. So for instance, you and I both have our own standalone websites. So if we, for some odd reason, left EXP, we wouldn't have to restart that website over. We would just use our new brokerage's IDX feed and integrate that into our website. So that saves us time. Also, by having your own website, you're in control of the content. You're in control of the SEO. A lot of things that when you have a brokerage provided website, your search engine optimization, where you're found on Google, is harder to control on those templated websites, because you get very limited access to what you can change because of things like compliance, and they try to keep it easy level across the board. When you build your own website, you have more control, again, over the content, the search engine optimization, the blogging, everything that you do. You have the control of that to control your customer's experience and build your own brand. And your website doesn't look like a templated version of everybody else. You can actually stand out from the competition. So if you're remotely serious in real estate, whether you're part-time, you have to have a website. And people don't think you're credible if you don't. We're in this digital age. Even if you have a kind of, lack of a better term, a crappy website design, people know, like, oh, people know. I mean, people are savvy nowadays. They know what a website should look like, even though styles are changing and things like that. But the basic things that your website should do is very, very common knowledge now. So if you don't have that, you're not a professional, and you might be scammed to them, and they're going to move on to the next website. So you'll lose business if you don't.
Or they're going to get confused. They're not going to be able to navigate your website. They're not going to get the right information they're looking for. And they're going to go find somebody else that give them that information quickly through just their templates alone, their layout alone, their language they're using on the website. Nothing different than you. You might be providing the top. And trust me,
Right.
I've met some really, really good agents, and they don't have a great online presence. And I meet people the other way around, where everything looks amazing, and then I get to meet them, and I'm like, whoa, you are so you are so not experienced. And I
Right.
used to work with realtors, and I bought multiple properties as an investor prior to ever getting my license. So trust me, I know this when I tell you that your online presence creates a story for them before they even meet you. So it's
Exactly.
really important. The first thing people are going to look you up, and you want to be the person that gives them the information that they're looking for. So it's not that website wasn't built for you, it's built for your audience. And when we talk about giving full control, I love that you touched on that. It gives you full control in all ways, in all aspects of your business, in having control of the people that are visiting your website. And I know that doesn't sound right, having control of your clients, but you know exactly who's coming to your website, you know who's there, so you're able to help them, and you're able to
Right.
give them the right information. So I love that you touched on that. And so the next one I want to talk about is, I want this to be really helpful for people. So what are some key elements that you would say, components that every real estate website should have?
The most important component is a good design. And I don't mean that it needs to be the most stylish or easy. A simple, clean design, because you have to think about your user's experience. Your brand is not just your logo, your colors. It's about, the number one thing of your brand is their experience. What do they feel when I say Tavares and Rajasingam, or, Mifta Media? What do I feel when I hear those words? And your look and feel of your website. I've been to so many websites where I get frustrated. I'm like, where the heck is this? I click this link, it doesn't work. That creates an experience of your brand. They're already having that frustrated feeling. So having a good, clean design with easy to find information, your users should be able to find information within 10 to 20 seconds of what they're looking for. So think about clean design, easy navigation is all a part of that. And then you want to have good quality content. Make sure that your content is relevant to your target audience. I've seen so many websites where they might be targeting luxury, but everything's showing 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 homes. It doesn't give you a luxury feel or a luxury look. Nobody's going to want to do business with that. Or it's reverse. You have this luxury look, and you have a client, you're going after clients that are $400,000 homes. Well, they're going to get to your website and think that, oh, they don't sell homes in my price range, so I'm not going to approach them. So make sure you have a clear understanding of what your target audience is, the content for them, and then make sure that content is optimized. Having a good optimized website that speaks to search engines is, I can't tell you, because it's organic free leads, it's evergreen. And that is the best thing. There's a statistic that says SEO drives 1,000% more traffic than organic social media. So people are searching, whether it's on YouTube or Google. They're both search engines. They're going to find you. So putting some time, or hiring a professional to optimize your website every month is well worth that investment. It's a key thing that you need to have. And I would say, too, make sure your IDX is integrated into your website. They have a way to search for homes. But tailing on that, a lot of realtors' websites, honestly, across all marketing or all industries in marketing, is that you need to have good, strong call to actions. I can't tell you, go to some of these people's websites, I'm like, so what do I do next? People get on there. You gave me information, but what's the next step? You have to think of everybody, not that they're simple minded, is that we have so much information coming at us. We need to know, what do we do next? We're in that kind of step-by-step mode. So having clear call to actions on every page, one call to action for that page, and then have a way to capture leads. I see, you and I, we talk about this all the time. We talk to a lot of people that says, oh, I need to generate more leads, generate more leads. You don't have a lead generation problem. The problem is you're getting plenty of traffic, but you don't even have a way to capture the leads. How many times I see people in discussion boards saying, how do I turn off the kvCORE thing that makes them register to look at properties? Why would you want to do that? Now they're surfing your website for free. You have no clue what they're doing. You're not capturing leads. They're not just going to magically pick up the phone and call you. So have a way to actually capture leads, especially if you're going to give away free things like a buyer's guide. Get their information and take it one step further and email them that information or text them to make sure they gave you a real phone number or a real email address that they are able to check and answer. So those would be the things, especially those last two things. Make sure that you have good call to actions. You have a way to capture leads, because you can't do marketing without that, in my opinion.
Or you can't do business at all. And I think when you touched on call to action, guys, like think about it from a perspective of you're literally telling people how to work with you. The first question people ask me is, okay, wow, you're telling me all this stuff. It sounds impressive. Like, so how do I work with you? And so if I've lost them there and I don't tell them that, they think, oh, she's just an advisor and that's it. And she doesn't do work. No, like I do. Like our marketing agency does everything. We do complete marketing services for you. I can help you edit your video. We can write social media for you. We have a social media done for you program. We have sales funnels, you have websites, name it. We have it. We make it for you. We don't just have it as templates. We actually do it for you if you need it. We have DIY services. We have a complete customization packages where we do it for you. And you have to be able to share that with people, or people won't know how to work with you. And same thing goes for real estate. And a lot of time you'll be surprised that sometimes a family member, and I saw this on a forum the other day on real estate, on the real estate mastermind, somebody posted, oh, my maid of honor and my best friend, I was working with her, and now she said she put on an offer on a property with another realtor. And I'm like, your best friend? Because they thought I can get a better deal with another realtor. Why would they assume that? Where did they go to think that you weren't? There's a lot of factors that come into this. There's a lot of assumptions that we can make here. That's why it's your job as a realtor to make sure that you're doing everything you can by communicating to people how you can serve them. So there's no assumption made. So you can ask them, hey, what do you think? How could I close this deal with you? How could I best help you? What is the best property? And those have to be shared on your website as well, of the type of services that you provide. I have people that tell me, oh, I do free staging. I don't see that on your website.
Right.
You say I do virtual tours and 3D. Yeah, that's part of because everyone does it, but it's not on your website. You got to put that on there. You got to tell people that you do everything. And the other thing that I'm glad that you touched on is lead capture. We know about vanity numbers. There's so many people, you can have, I know agents who have much less small subscriber accounts that are closing deals monthly than people who have hundreds of subscribers on their YouTube, social media. We know it. I've helped some of my own clients have more followings than I do. And their number one problem is lead generation. No. Right? Like, and it's lead generation, but no, you're getting the traffic. You have way more people looking at your post than some of the people that look at my own post. But I'm telling you have a problem capturing leads. Your business, your income is low is because of that reason. So let's talk about that. So I'm so glad that you touched on that. Lastly, I wanted to kind of really unpack, I know this might be a whole video on its own when we talk about mistakes, but and you and I talk about it. We're going to talk about it in our podcast. We're going to dive into this, but if you can, high level, Jacob, if you could keep it, what are some of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to real estate websites?
A lot.
I know.
One, I think the biggest mistake is not hiring a professional. And I know that sounds biased because we're in marketing, and yes, we love your business. But whether you hire us or not, hire a real professional to help you in your marketing business. One thing that's always kind of, miffed me or made me mad about marketing and being in marketing is that's the one service people skimp on. And it's the one thing they think they can do themselves. If you go to the doctor, you got to have a surgery. You're not going to go to YouTube and figure out how to do the surgery yourself. You're trusting that professional. And even when I was in like this event rental business a long time ago, it would amaze me, all these people that would come by photo booths and buy like 5 of them and spend 20 grand on photo booths. And they didn't even put a dime to the marketing. And they would come to me, how much is your website? And I would tell them, and they'd be like, oh, well, I just spent all this money. I'd be like, go return one, because you haven't even mastered how to rent out one photo booth. How are you going to do 5? You haven't mastered how to sell or help somebody buy one property. Like, why are you diving into all these other things? So hiring a professional, I think, is that, and having a real marketing strategy and budget for that. The other thing that really irks me about websites, because people make the mistake, is they put up a website and they like do this set it and forget it. I will tell you right now, no matter what anybody tells you, you remember that Jacob said this is BS, is there's no such thing in marketing called set it and forget it. Things are always changing. Now, are things more passive? Yes, but they might require a couple of hours of work a month. Even truly passive income requires a little bit of time each month or some time of the year you have to manage it. But the thing is when it comes to your website, if you want to be found on Google, there is no just set it and forget it. You need to be reevaluating your website, whether it's once a month or every quarter, to see how you can make things better, adding new features, especially if you're really wanting to rank on Google. Then SEO is not a one-time thing. I see people selling a one-time SEO setup. That's great, but they're just taking your money. I've done it for people. I told them, this isn't going to work. I can get the foundation started for you, but you need to do this. SEO, the reason why SEO and websites are not set it and forget it is because if it were that easy, everybody would be ranking number one on Google for those keywords. But Google rewards kind of the hustle of you maintaining your website, putting out new relevant content that they can evaluate, and then they move you up the rankings. So if you want to move up the rankings, you need to be adding blog articles, you need to be adding new content, you need to be adding updated things, adding things to your Google business page. So if you do anything in marketing, you're looking for this key system or whatever, and it's a one and done and set it and forget it. No, there's no such thing. Now, there is autopilot, but that just means that leads are coming in on autopilot, or this website is on autopilot, but you still have to manage it. At some point, those pilots flying on autopilot have to take it off autopilot and, navigate it home. So that's probably my biggest things, is that people just don't put it as much effort into websites and marketing as they do their business. And then they wonder why they're not making any money, is because you didn't even get started on the right path, because marketing is how people perceive you. And, you got into real estate to be a realtor, not a digital marketer. So why are you trying to learn this industry? And it's really, they act like they're saving a lot of money, like it's super expensive. It's not. If you get a good marketing company and you get on a good marketing plan, it will bring you more money in deals and leads than you would if you didn't spend the money. Even if it brought you in one deal a year more, you still pay for that marketing for that year.
Well, look at our agents who've spent way more money just shopping around than what actually using something that works for them. And that's just because they think that's what they need, because they saw this shiny person or somebody who done, 10 million in deals, all of a sudden came up with this new tool. They're like, I think I need this too. But don't compare they're completely their business to yours. They're not a marketer. They're not a professional, and that's where I lose it, is to have that business foundation is missing.
It's a disconnect. And two, one thing that drives me crazy is they hire like 5 different marketing professionals, or so-called professionals. And you have a system here, a system here, a system here, and system here. Like, you don't need that. You can put this all in one. Yeah, you're going to have certain tools, and that's where something like Zapier comes in to connect everything. But quit buying like, oh, I got this funnel over here and I got this person build my website. They're the same thing. They should be.
Or like having multiple CRMs.
Oh my God.
I have multiple websites.
And never understood that either. There's so much, but just get a foundation, give it time. I think that's the problem, is people, they want everything, in 1 week or 1 day. Marketing takes time. And even though there's other avenues that can generate leads quicker, but at the end of the day, you got to have a good system. You have to have a good follow-up system, which is a whole nother topic. But invest time and money into your real estate system. You focus on what you're good at, talking to clients, doing deals, converting leads on the phone or talking to them, whatever, and leave the marketing set up to professionals to get you on the right path. And I understand everybody has different budgets, but at least you know what you need to work for. And you can set up something temporarily, but hey, in 3 months after my first deal, I need to do this. I need to implement this.
You actually gave me another idea. I think we need to do a call separately. And if you guys are interested, if you're watching this, we're going to be coming up with another call about how to vet professionals. I think I've done this in my mastermind calls about hiring the right people, and the amount of people that people wasted money on, got scammed on. It's huge right now with so many international people
Yep.
DMing you every 2 minutes. It's really important how to vet the right people. And we'll definitely do a call on that, because I've done hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad buys. And I can tell you, you know who the right people are and where you're buying from the questions they ask you, from the questions you can ask them, and how they answer you. So
Mhm.
thank you, Jacob. This is a lot. Honestly,
Okay.
you and I, that's why we have podcasts coming up, because we're going to sit here and talk about this thing for days to come. We have so many experiences of just working with so many different professionals, and so many issues that come from that, so many things that we've done to help solve their problems. And we want to be able to bring that to the forefront and talk about it. So thank you for just giving me just some insider into this and some information. So, and to hear more about this and more content coming up, guys, this is a great time to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you know when I put out more content like this. And if you have any questions at all about real estate, websites, sales, funnel, landing page, anything that you're working on when it comes to online lead generation, in anything to do with SEO, leave it in the comment section below. I'll make sure to share with Jacob. I'll leave Jacob's information in the description below. He has a ton of different services that he's here to help out with agents, and he's particularly and specifically works in the real estate industry. So it's really important that you check out some of his services, and to partner with us and to work with Jacob and I, join our brokerage EXP Realty, a disruptive global brokerage model that is changing the lives of so many agents. Is one of the best brokerages in the world. And if you want to know more information about it, again, no obligation whatsoever. But if you don't know, I guarantee you it's going to change the way you look at your business completely when you find out what we're doing. We have the best. And when I say we, I mean Jacob and I, not just EXP, have why it's so important to join the right sponsor, right people to partner with, because our upline is insane. We have an amazing value stack, and just alone, without even including some of our sponsors, check out the description just to even browse, to look at the some type of services we provide. Everything that people purchase from us, other agencies, other realtors, we provide all of that services for free. Everything that you heard us talk about today, super important. So click on that link, schedule, book a call with us. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm a real estate marketer, real estate agent, global team leader, just like Jacob. I'll see you next time.